Silent expectations. Women have an abundance of it, especially when it comes to dating, especially when it comes to dating men. When it comes to dating women, they don't have the exact same expectations, but when it comes to men, they expect men to read minds. They expect men to make massive amounts of money. They expect men to be courteous in every single way, to be chivalrous in every single way, and to pay for everything. Right? That's what women expect, and they expect even more than that because they create stupid things like icks. Let's go over this video with Emily.
Oh, you do not plan a freaking date. You are gonna get rejected. I am here, gonna show you with receipts. I pulled this one from the archive. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Can't wait to hear what this older woman recommends you guys do when you're planning a first date. Before I hit play though, remember to like this video and subscribe if you haven't yet to catch my videos every Wednesday and Friday. So let's see what she has to say. It looks like she has a text message thread of this gentleman and her. She says it's from the archive, so it must have been a little while ago. Let's see what she thinks reflecting back.
I had been on one date with this man, and I got right in that group chat after the first date telling the girlies, I think this guy is great. I had such a nice time with him.
Yeah, this is also why guys don't want to go out anymore. They don't want to get blasted amongst your group friends being laughed at because they made a mistake somewhere.
So much fun. We had a lot in common. I could not wait to go on a second date with him.
Okay, that sounds really awesome. It doesn't sound like there's really that much of a drama story here. I think that is really important to have like that good feeling off of that first date. That's what makes you want to have a second date. But we are only about 10 seconds in to this 2.5-minute video. So let's see what else she has to add.
A week or so later, he finally texts me and is like, hey, are you free Sunday for brunch? I'm like, yeah, great.
I think a week later is the perfect time frame from the first to second date. You know, he's not showing evidence of love bombing. He's not making you his entire world.
I mean, going out once a week is fair.
And putting a bunch of pressure on you. He's letting time pass. He's living his life, and he's probably working Monday through Friday. And if you had the date on Friday or Saturday of last week, now he's trying to plan something for the next weekend. So he planned on brunch. He was very specific on the day and brunch, and you would probably consider brunch time being somewhere in the morning to afternoon.
Yeah.
That Saturday night, he sends me this text, are you still up for brunch? Yes, I'm still up for brunch.
Okay, there's the eye roll. Here it is. It's the fact
the man can't even make sure to confirm
that he's reaching out and confirming the night before, which is something that a lot of women would say you need to do. That these guys need to do the 24 hours or less, like whatever. It ends up being a little less than 24 hours. But he reached out and was trying to confirm a particular thing that you were going to do the next day, and there's the eye roll, right? She doesn't like that he didn't plan this a month before he even knew her.
You're saying that 5 p.m. on Saturday, brunch assumingly would be Sunday noon 1. Yeah, what are you thinking? I could come your way if you know a good spot.
Oh, more eye rolls. Women talk about this time and time again. They talk about how they don't like a man that gets their opinion on a restaurant, at least early on. Although you guys do the total switch around as you're in that relationship because y'all are picky, okay?
They are.
You like particular things, and as a woman, I can admit to that. Like, I am picky about food items and what I feel like eating. And maybe it's hormonal, maybe it's just how our minds work, but we are particular. Men know that. Men are more easygoing when it comes to food, and they will just kind of go with whatever you want. So they don't want to pick something that you don't even like and like feel like they're pressuring you into something that allows for
we just don't want it to be our fault. That's pretty much it.
Not as good of a time. Like, they want you to have a really good experience. They want you to have a really good time. And part of that is liking the food. But again, women all the time will get annoyed at this because they see that as like decreased effort from a man. But that's not where it's coming from. And women continue to refuse to believe it, even when men tell them this time and time again. Okay, so in this video, she obviously is not happy about it. Let's see what she texts back to him.
Okay, let me do the heavy lifting for you, buddy. So I give him a list of these places.
Yeah, it's over. I can already tell that this is over just based off of her attitude. If her attitude in that moment was the same one that she's demonstrating as she's doing this video, then that was the problem. Like, he was never going to make up for that, because everything else that happened on the first date apparently didn't really matter as much as him planning to a T every single thing that she wanted and expected of him to do for the second date. But hey, maybe I'm getting a little too far ahead. Let's see what else happened.
It's just not enough.
And I add, not sure if any take a res, meaning, hey buddy, I'm giving you 3 options of places I'd like to go, but you are gonna have to do the footwork to determine whether or not they even require reservations. A lot of brunch places don't, or what the deal is. He says, oh, the Dutch eye. Not even sure what that means. Like, oh, is that a plan? No.
Yep, there it is. That's where he was testing the attitude. I bet you anything that man already could tell that she was getting a little bit of an attitude. And maybe, who knows,
Snippy.
even after that first date and leading up to the first date, even maybe during the first date, maybe he was sensing something with her. And this is where he's pushing the envelope just a little bit. And let's see how she reacts.
So then that morning, I get a text from him, howdy, how does 2 sound?
So he reaches out in the morning and he gets a specific time for you with a few hours notice. Okay, like, you knew it was going to be around brunch time. You even said between 12 and 1, so 2 falls a little bit later, a little bit outside that, but you didn't really push for a time. Like, he's probably thinking that you're just flexible, you know, it's a day off for both of you, so he's just reaching out in the morning. But let's see how this goes.
I never heard back from him the night before, so what do I say?
You didn't hear back from him? He texted you last and you didn't reply. This is another thing that I think some women make the mistake of. Like, they will get a text message and they don't think that there's enough effort in that text message, or...
I mean, that's probably what a lot of people, or probably a lot of women that I've dated, think about my text messages. My text messages are bare bone, right? Like, can you do this and that and that? Yes. Can you do? Okay. Like, those are my answers. What do you want me to say?
That it's like a text message that doesn't require a response, so they just won't respond.
Yeah.
When really, if you had just given any response, like, you could have just given a ha, and I bet you anything that man would have said something more. But instead, she kind of assumed the worst. You know, she didn't hear back from him, so she assumed that it, like, wasn't going to happen.
Oh, when I didn't hear back last night about a reservation or anything concrete, I made plans for this afternoon. You cannot, for a second date, try and make plans the morning of. Even less than 24 hours. Like,
he didn't try to make plans the morning of, and he didn't.
Look how they like to straw man the actually what happens into their benefit of being a victim.
Try to do it 24 hours in advance. He did it days in advance first, and then he did it the night before to solidify location, and then he was trying to solidify the specific time that morning. I bet you anything she didn't actually have plans. I think that she was just upset about the situation.
Your girl is busy. We are not sitting around waiting for you to reach out. Goodbye. And so what is his response? Okay, cool. He, I think, got the point.
That's kind of the king response, right? Because he wasn't feeling much effort from her at that point. I mean, if you're going to go off and make plans because you didn't have a specific time or a specific location that he was listing out to you.
Considering we confirmed quite a bit prior the day before.
You made plans even though you said yes to him, then that man is going to assume that you aren't that into him. And he's going to be cool with that. Like, he's at least getting notified that you're not that into him, and he's not going to need to waste his time any further.
But either way, I was like, this has to be like one of the like laziest attempts at putting a second date together. Like, bro, second date, what are you doing? You missed out is what happened.
Nope.
Sorry.
I
He
just
dodged
think
the bullet.
overall that women try to pull meaning from things that don't really hold much meaning, especially early on when dating. And what ends up happening is that they end up choosing poorly because they're so focused on the things that don't even matter. When in reality, like, a high value man, a good man, is not going to push you because he's actually pretty happy with his life.
Yeah.
And he's working hard to build his life. So he's kind of focused on work. And it doesn't mean that he doesn't have any time or focus to date and to get involved with you. But the fact is that he's gone on one date with you, and you don't really deserve that much attention at that point in his life. The other tough part that a lot of men run into is that they can have like that internal like high draw towards a woman, and he's really excited, really excited even after that first date. And what ends up happening is if he's not getting a lot of energy back from her, that really dims down his effort because he's a little discouraged. He's feeling like this girl doesn't really like me that much, I don't think. And so he backs off. Like, and that's normal for him to.
Agreed. When I can tell a woman is like either lost attraction for me or is not attracted to me, I just don't make the effort. It doesn't make sense to make the effort anymore.
Back off his energy so that he's not pushing himself onto you, because he doesn't know how much you really actually like him. And what she could have done is relied on the fact that she felt different during that first date, like how he treated her, his personality, everything about him that she saw on the first date, she seemed to really like. But the problem is that didn't carry through, and she
what has he done for her lately? It's been a week.
was like forgetting that was the focus, and that it should be the focus. Instead, you're setting these benchmarks of like what you expect from a man at that stage. But the problem is that men are probably not going to meet those very specific expectations because they don't even know that you have them. It
Exactly.
was one thing if she like listed out all of her expectations, but let's be real, she would sound crazy to him if she
True.
listed out all of everything that she expected and handed it to him on a piece of paper. And as a woman, if you don't feel like you could list out those expectations and feel okay handing that off to that man, then something's probably wrong with those expectations. You're probably feeling internally and knowing deep down that those are a little extreme. Yet, here we are. We have women following those every single day.
Shout outs to Emily for doing these videos. Again, I always like to try to feature women that are fighting the good fight. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Catch you guys next time. Ciao.